Right, today I'm going to be riding the Bobber with a supercharger on it. But before that, I've got to build a map for it because I haven't had any luck actually getting hold of a base map off of TTS. So to do that, what I'm going to do, the map I've got in here at the moment is the one I've actually built to make the engine run as best as I can with the bigger injectors, and then I'm just going to take a load of timing out of it. And then we're going to try it, and then hopefully get on the dyno shortly as well. And before I do that, I need to actually plumb in the vacuum line. So I've got to plumb in the dump valve, and I've got to put my boost gauge on it as well, and probably the fuel regulator on the fuel tank. I'm going to put a vacuum line on that. I might plumb it in, I might not. I'm not sure what to do with that yet. But if I've got a vacuum line on there already, I won't have to take fuel tank off again, because I'm getting really pissed off with taking this fuel tank off. So that's what's happening today. I'd just like to say at this point as well, thanks for all the support I've been getting and all the positive comments I've been getting, because that really motivates me to carry on and let me know that I'm going in the right direction. Cheers. Australian safety boots are very versatile. They also double as a tank prop so you can get to your plugs okay. Right, just in here, don't know if you can see that, but there's a T-piece there on the vacuum line. That other end goes up to the map sensor there, and that other one goes to the other throttle body, and this vacuum line here goes to this throttle body. So that's where I'm going to take the vacuum line off for the dump valve. Also, the reason I've disconnected that T-piece there and rather not at the map sensor is because things like that can be very delicate, and that little plastic pipe coming off the map sensor there, I don't want to risk breaking that, because that sort of thing happens, especially when they're in an area like this where it gets hot and cold and the plastic goes brittle. So I've disconnected it, that little T-piece there. So what I've done is I've got the vacuum line coming off the boost valve and going up between the throttle bodies, and it goes into that T-piece near the map sensor. And I've also put a length of vacuum hose in there, quite a long bit, so that I can put this on the fuel regulator on the tank, and then I can plumb it in later without having to take a tank off if I want. Actually, I've got a better idea. I'm actually going to measure the pulleys and see exactly where the belt and pulleys need to be. So I'm actually going to measure to this outer lip on all of the pulleys. Is probably the easiest place to measure to, with my trusty depth gauge there. That's okay, there's plenty of clearance there. Then this is the problem, I think. I think I had the belt on the wrong one, because this pulley is much thicker than the belt. I'll probably have to go in a little bit with it. So what made me question it was I had it running briefly, and then that was filling up with rubber there, so it obviously wasn't right, and it was rubbing on the edge of the belt on here. But what I've noticed now is I had it right in the middle of this pulley. I need to have two clear slots on the outside, and I think that's when it runs true. Let's try that. Right, so what I've done with the map here is I've got the original Thruxton map, because my Bobber's got a Thruxton motor in it, and I've basically taken a load of timing out of it. But before this, I actually modified the map to suit the injectors and the fueling, so now I'm going to take a heap of timing out of it. So this is the map I've made, and I'll show you where I've made the changes. So if I compare this map to, yeah, you can see where I've made the changes here, where all little white dots are. So basically in them areas. So going from 29 maximum advance flat out, it's now at 20 degrees. So it's really fairly conservative. So I'm going to leave it like this and then actually add timing where I need it. And I'll probably do that on the dyno when I get to it. But for now, I think this is a pretty safe map. So in the acceleration areas here as well, I've taken a bit of timing out as well. I'm not sure if it actually boosts down this low. I don't think it does. Don't think it sort of starts coming on to boost till here, but this is a very conservative map, so this hopefully should be okay. So right, let's get that flash to the bike. ECU reprogram, continue, okay. Right, I had a couple of little oil leaks, but I think mainly because I had the oil overfilled and it was coming out of the breather pipe, and the breather pipe wasn't fixed properly at the bottom because I didn't have a clip on it because it was only a breather and that was leaking. But now I've washed it all off and I've left it for a little bit. There's no more drips there. I also forgot to put one of these vacuum lines back on, so it was running really fast. I sorted that out. But other than that, it's ready to go. Let's go and ride it. I'm not going far. I'm actually only going to go around the block, just in case I do need to shut it down. At least I can push it back if the worst comes to the worst. I do have a bag of tools with me, but it should be alright. I can hear the dump valve working already. Don't know if that, there's no boost, but I think when I close the throttle it causes a vacuum and causes that to do something. I'm not going to actually, I've got to do 100 k's or something in it just to run the supercharger in without giving it too much. It's very lean. Where is it? Yeah, it's a bit lean. Yeah, it's definitely not set up right. But I just want to go around the block, take it back, make sure it stopped leaking oil, and that's the first stage. Very flat there. I have actually got the lambda probes disconnected still. Probably be a bit better low down when I get them connected back up again. We've got an oil leak. That's engine oil, I think. It's actually leaking engine oil and not supercharger oil, which I'm a little bit pleased about. But I'm not very pleased because I've got to do a lot more work. So I didn't put any sealer on the gasket for this case because the Triumph one never actually had any sealant on or anything, and you know, you never have any oil leaks from it. But I didn't actually think about it, that's not a Triumph case which is going back on. So I don't know, but I'm going to take this case off, put some sealer on. I might actually clean it down and run it just to double check, make sure that is where it's coming from, and then that's that. I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. I'm not particularly thrilled about doing it because spending so many years being a mechanic, that sort of thing does bore me a little bit, but it's got to be done. The brake pedal wasn't as much as a problem as I thought it was going to be. I didn't really, it's not quite in the right position. I do like it a little bit higher than that, but it wasn't a problem. Right, next video, I guess you're going to see me fixing an oil leak, or riding it after I fix the oil leak, or both. But anyway, don't forget to drop a like, Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and comment. I'll get back to you. And have a great day.